Hi there, welcome to BoxPred. In this video I'm going to be giving my prediction on the March the 12th fight between Miguel Cotto and Ricardo Mayorga. This is for the WBA Super Light Middleweight title, and my prediction for this fight is a victory by late stoppage for Miguel Cotto. Okay, so let's quickly just take a look at their records. Miguel Cotto has 35 victories with 2 losses, no draws, and around a 75% knockout ratio. And Ricardo Mayorga has 29 wins with 7 losses, 1 draw, and around 60% knockout ratio. So, as I always do, I'll look at one fighter first and then another fighter and break it down like that for you, in my opinion. So, let's take a look at Ricardo Mayorga first. This fight, in my opinion, is a more risky fight than many people are giving credit for. I've never been a big fan of Ricardo Mayorga. He's not really the type of fighter that I tend to, he is okay to watch, but as far as sort of the technical side of things, he's never really been someone I've really followed and thought was really that good. But in this fight, I believe he poses a threat because of the type of fighter that he is. Now, just taking a quick look at Mayorga, he had about a 2-year layoff between 2008 and 2010, and he's just come back and recently fought Michael Walker, and he won that fight. But one thing I've noticed is he has put weight on. He's looking a bit on the heavy side, and he does need to lose weight for this fight, not only to make the weight, but also to get in good enough shape to face a guy of Miguel Cotto's caliber. He can put pressure on opponents and has power. He does have power. He's got that 60% knockout ratio. It's not the highest knockout ratio in the world, but I think he can hurt you. And in this fight, I give him a puncher's chance, because although I don't believe he's as good a boxer as Miguel Cotto, I believe there are factors in this fight surrounding these two fighters, particularly Cotto, which make it dangerous for him. So that's my basically all I'd like to say really on Mayorga, is that he comes to fight. He comes to fight. He comes to hurt you. He doesn't come, to tip-tap around the ring and use, sublime technique or anything. He comes for a fight. He comes for a street fight and a war. And that is the type of fighter which I wouldn't have chosen for Miguel Cotto coming off a 9-month layoff. So moving on to Miguel Cotto, I do believe he's the better boxer in this one. Technically, I think he can break fighters down. I thought his last fight against Yuri Foreman was a very good victory for him. Although it was Foreman's old knee injury that officially stopped the fight, I thought Miguel Cotto had the better of him regardless. In a fight that I thought Yuri Foreman, I was sort of siding with Yuri Foreman in that one. I thought he was going to win that fight because of the style of fighter that he is. I do rate Yuri Foreman. He wasn't beaten going into that fight, but he was very a good mobile fighter, good skills, and I just thought he he was going to be able to evade and break down Miguel Cotto. But it's proved to be the other way around. Miguel Cotto fought a very effective fight and broke down Yuri Foreman. It was the other way around, and I think the pressure got to Yuri Foreman, and that's when the problems start creeping in. And that's, the pressure where he had Foreman up towards the ropes. Foreman had nowhere to really go, and then he's going to have to use more, the type of lateral movement that's going to aggravate a knee injury. And I also feel, and if you've watched my other videos, you probably already know this. I think Miguel Cotto gave Manny Pacquiao his sternest recent test. I thought he was winning after the first 4 rounds. I thought he got to Manny Pacquiao in that one, but then he lost it. From the 4th round onwards, then he started to get broken down. He didn't take his chance he had a very good chance to, when he had Manny Pacquiao up against the ropes, he didn't capitalise. Another fight. This fight actually highlights, for me, Miguel Cotto's main asset, which is his left hand, and namely his jab. I rate Cotto's jab. I think it's a superb jab. He knocks Clottey down with it. If you take some look at the highlights of that fight, he knocks Joshua Clottey down with it, with the jab. Very effective, very powerful. But it also worked against him in that fight, because towards the end of the 3rd round, when Cotto jabs, a lot of the time he lunges in. This is what puts power on his jabs, yeah? This is why they're so effective. But he missed, and there was an accidental headbutt, which cut Cotto. And this brings me round to a weakness of Miguel Cotto, and why I feel it's a risk, particularly in this fight. He's up against a guy who can punch. He's up against a guy who doesn't really think about defense that much. He just wants to hit you. And Miguel Cotto is prone to cutting. And I think Miguel Cotto cuts the type of cuts that can end fights, that can be stopped. And that's the risk for Miguel Cotto in this for me. I think there is a cut risk with him, especially if he needs to get his defense tight. If he catches too many shots, and he gets cut, that could be disaster. That could spell disaster for Miguel Cotto in this one. Because I think as a boxer, he wins this fight, and like I've predicted, I think Cotto ends this late on. I think he's going to break down Ricardo Mayorga. He's going to be a bit too good for Ricardo Mayorga, and he's going to end up stopping him. However, it could be the other way around if Miguel Cotto cuts early on. And that's why I think he could have gone in with a bit more of a cute fighter, who, now Cotto is, since the Manny Pacquiao defeat, when he fought Yuri Foreman, he looks like he can handle cuter fighters. And I think rather than going in there with a bigger puncher, he could have gone in there with a lesser puncher just to get that tune-up fight that he needs. But this is what it is, and he is in this fight. I just think that's the risk in this one. But the good thing about this is that he's had 9 months layoff now. For for the body to heal. So I know people who tend to cut continuously throughout their career, but he's had a bit of time now to recover, to heal up from everything. Didn't take too much damage in the Foreman fight, I don't think. So, he might not cut. And like I said, if he's got his defense, if he sorts out his defense, he could even, go for the knockout early, because Mayorga's defense is not great for me, and he is susceptible to catching shots. And Cotto can bang. Once upon a time, Miguel Cotto's body punches were the big deal in the sport of boxing. They were the punches that everyone feared, and if he could try and bring that back, there could be a very good short night for him. But this should be a very entertaining fight. Both of these guys are always in entertaining fights, and this is going to be no doubt one of those. Well, I'm hoping. But both guys can be stopped because the two losses that Cotto has on his record are both by knockout, and 4 of Mayorga's 7 defeats have been by stoppage. So, I'm just going for the better boxer in this one. And I think Cotto's he could make it an easy night, he could make it a difficult night. It depends what Cotto we see. Miguel Cotto, which Miguel Cotto turns up. Does he want it? Does he want to fight? I think he does. I think he wears Ricardo Mayorga down in this fight to get the late stoppage. So thank you for watching my video. That's my opinion. Please give me your opinions by commenting on this video page or drop me a comment on my homepage. Please, if you do like my videos, subscribe. As always, once again, thank you for watching this video. This is BoxPred. I'm out.